Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's going to be BotTato taking on not JimmyBotZ, not JimmyBotP, not JimmyBot, it's JimmyBotP. And if you had to guess, that stands for Protoss. So, a TVP, bot versus bot match between two bots that are in fairly active development. Well, they are in active development. I don't know why I put a fairly in front of that. They are. And yeah, they're very distinct bots in that JimmyBot is a bit of a chaotic bot, whereas BotTato is more of like a standard macro Terran bot. And as we can see, JimmyBot is up to no good with a proxied pylon being built outside the base of BotTato. There's a forge on the way, double gas, so this could be some sort of cannon rush into tech. Well, there should be a tech on the way. BotTato has scouted that. It has said cannon rush detected, and so that means we need to cannon rush the comments. If you guys haven't already, leave a comment down below saying more bots, more cannons, cannon rush the comments, and then, yeah, click that like button if you haven't already. If we can get 20 likes for 20 SCVs, that would be amazing. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and consider becoming a YouTube member, and big thanks to everyone who does support the channel via that. We don't have a patron or anything, but you guys are wonderful with your support, so thank you. Now, we have got a factory on the way for BotTato, which is pretty much what you want to do as a Terran when you're being cannon rushed. You want to get out a unit like a Cyclone or a Siege Tank with range. And this is a very, very bizarre cannon rush from JimmyBot. I don't know what the intent is here. There's a gateway that's done on JimmyBot's side of the map, but BotTato sent its Reaper across the map very quickly, and it's already going to work killing probes. JimmyBot has behavior here to pull the probes against the Reaper, and they do get injured and try and run away, but it's only pulling like 2, so there definitely are some casualties going on right now, and of course the cannons aren't getting any closer. So it's a bit of a dud opener from JimmyBot, although the Zealot is out now to try and chase that Reaper away. Given enough time, Zealot will be killed by a Reaper, and if you give monkeys a typewriter in enough time, they'll eventually write Shakespeare. Not sure which one happens first. It takes a very, very long time for a Reaper to kill a Zealot. It's kind of surprising we don't get more of that in bot games, since it's just like, oh, it's quicker, it can stop and shoot. A lot of Reapers die. But so far, BotTato's Reaper is actually doing a very good job of being active with that, engaging that Zealot. The Zealot, though, is doing its job by causing this delay. Behind this, JimmyBot has got its Nexus on the way. So it's like this is a macro opening, and the cannons are actually delaying the expansion of BotTato as we see the command center's like, I should land, maybe not. Yeah, so BotTato's actually losing some SCVs. They're clearly trying to avoid the cannons, but then the code to do the speed mining, they got an urge to speed mine, is overriding that a little bit. I think that it might be a little bit of like a collision going on that's causing them to just bump each other into the range of the cannons, which is a very common thing. A lot of authors, they program in, oh, this unit has this range, so stay out of that range. Honestly, if you're an author, adding on like a plus, I don't know, whatever you're working with, but if you have like a grid, add on like a 0.1 to the distance or something like that. It might hurt in certain situations, but it might help in certain situations. And then maybe you can refine from there. Because it is pretty common, units bumping other units to their death. In that case, that Marine just wanted the smoke and died. So BotTato is actually having its natural base be delayed. JimmyBot's build is working in that it is, like, it's not, didn't try and kill BotTato with the cannon rush. It was very vulnerable to the early Reaper, that Reaper, which is still alive but is back home now. And yeah, BotTato is just contained by these cannons, and this is the kind of thing that breaks a lot of lesser bots, so we'll see if BotTato can overcome that or not. It does have a Banshee on the way. BotTato's Banshee Micro is quite good, so it will be trying to harass JimmyBot a little bit. What does JimmyBot have as far as anti-air? 2 Stalkers are out, but there is no Observer, so once this cloak is done, things could get very bad, as both bots are just taking economic bruising in this game. The Banshee from BotTato, very nice. It doesn't just run away from the Stalkers. It's almost like it was waiting for Cloak, or just prioritizing getting those probes instead of running away, which is absolutely what you want to do in that situation. There's nothing worse than an over-microed Banshee. In this case, BotTato's Banshee is not missing any shots here, which is exactly what you want. It's just butchering probes, and yeah, while BotTato is stuck on 1 base still, JimmyBot is getting knocked down in the probe count very heavily. It's actually ridiculous that this Banshee has got 19 kills and JimmyBot is still ahead by 8 workers. Is there an Observer on the way? There's a Robo on the way. It may as well be an eternity from finishing as a second Banshee comes in. Oh, I was about to be like, oh yeah, the Banshee's cloak is about to run out. Things will be fine until the second Banshee shows up. They're actually targeting the Zealot a little bit. They do kill that off. They can, but well, the one with cloak can maybe kill these Stalkers, and it is working away on them. Better the Stalkers, though, than more probes. JimmyBot does have a 3rd Nexus on the way behind this. You do have a probe running the long way around to resaturate that main base, which is not great. Maybe it's good, because it's arguably a safer base, but a lot of lost mining time, whereas I think it would be better mining at this 3rd base spot. So that's something you do have to consider as an author. Let me know if you guys have a take on that in the comments, like as far as where workers should be queued to. I think travel time is a real killer. It exposes the workers to danger. We do actually have BotTato now having amassed enough Marines with Medivacs actually to support them. It is cleaning up the cannons and may finally be able to land this natural base. So both bots are in not a great economic position. JimmyBot is just probing like a madman, though. It lost 32, and it still got 42. 7.5 minutes in the game. Oh no, BotTato sieges a tank. It's blocking the command center. I really hope that unsieges, and it doesn't get too cozy there. And now JimmyBot does have an Observer out, which is a test for a lot of newer bots. Like, it did the correct thing as far as trying to get that out upon the Banshees arriving. It just took so long. Now, JimmyBot has got 3 Stalkers, 15 Zealots to respond to this. The Observer is not actually joining up with this to hunt down these Banshees. So it did the right thing in making an Observer, but it is not achieving success as the Banshees are knocking that worker count further down. Yeah, and oh, it's not even trying to go for the Banshee. So JimmyBot might need a bit of work in regards to having the Observer's path on top of the cloaked units, which is something as an author that definitely takes a lot of work. I don't think anyone has perfected it, but we have seen bots that would be able to handle this more successfully. JimmyBot's got a forge. Who knows? Maybe it could build cannons. And this one is really, really painful here. The Observer's right there. It does allow that Banshee to maybe get killed off. No, there's just not enough anti-air. JimmyBot is now just ahead on workers compared to BotTato. BotTato's saturating up its natural base. We do have the Protoss, though, still on 3 Nexus. If JimmyBot, it's ridiculous. JimmyBot, oh, might actually be getting a full Medivac here as BotTato decided to go drop mode. It's got to be careful. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. JimmyBot has lost 65 probes in this game. And I'm like, as long as it doesn't lose any more, it should be fine. That is just nuts. By delaying BotTato's economy early on, by being very dedicated to the probing, and notably, not mining too much gas. It's only got 3 gases going, but oh, this is bad. Tell me the Observer joins up this time. No, you dumbass. Get where you need to go. I say go on, get. BotTato has got 2 Banshees out still. It hasn't lost any of them. There we go. The Observer kind of gets the memo. It's just not, it's just very slow. And BotTato's Banshees are pushed away, so BotTato takes the worker lead. Neither bot is on a great economy, but I'm just very concerned for JimmyBot at this point, as the Banshees once at 60 kills. Oh my gosh, that is a record Banshee right there. If that thing survives, that's gonna get a medal when it makes it back to the main base, but it might not survive. JimmyBot is trying to path on top of it. We see the Banshee's like, nope. The Stalkers are getting the odd shot off here and there. The other Banshee made it home to get repaired, but I think the commander may meet their doom unless the other Banshee shows up and distracts JimmyBot. But no, that doesn't happen. JimmyBot still is not in a terrible position, dare I say. Army supplies are even, workers are even. BotTato did actually get the Hyperflight rotors. I was like, are those Banshees moving quicker than I thought? Yes, they are. We don't actually have, no more Banshees being made by BotTato. JimmyBot is just swarming Zealots at its third base. This is a very scary army. Zealots with charge, and the upgrades for JimmyBot are very good. The Observer's there. You just gotta shimmy to the left, and we'll see if it actually gets there to kill this Banshee off. It is revealing the Banshee. There's just genuinely not that much anti-air, as JimmyBot is building so many Zealots. It hasn't made any more Stalkers. This is the Zealot bot. Zealots and cannons. JimmyBot's actually banking minerals, or gas, pardon me, because I guess it's really only spending gas on upgrades, which takes a lot, but not that much. We're now getting a fourth base on the way for JimmyBot. BotTato's building its third on location. BotTato really has been investing in tech and production. It's got 3 starports. That might be a bit much for 2 bases, based on what it's seen. Although I guess it did see a Stargate. There was hallucinated oracles. BotTato's going for a drop inside the main base. That Banshee is still alive. It's back home getting repaired. It's going to be hard to break the commander's kill record, but JimmyBot or BotTato might be working its way there. Supplies are still very even. I think this is actually concerning for BotTato, though. The fact that there is 32 Zealots that are going to have 2-2 upgrades, and it's not like, oh, 2-2, it's 2-2 and shields. Shields are so rare in StarCraft 2 Protoss games that we don't even consider it, that they never have it. We're just like, yeah, they got 2-2, armor and attack. Whereas shields is basically just an extension of the armor, so this Banshee's going to work. Cloak does burn a lot of energy on that preliminary cloak, though, so it does prevent this thing from flying around forever. JimmyBot is trying to get that Banshee. As it loops around, the whole army has to scoot around. The Zealots are just so useless. They're just blocking the actual useful units. JimmyBot, though, is still pumping out more Zealots. BotTato's pumping out more units. There's tanks, there's Widow Mines. Like, the army of BotTato is very rounded, but like there's no stim, there's no combat shield on these Marines. We're just getting +1 now. Like, these Zealots are going to be immortal whenever the fight does happen. We may be about to witness a crash here, and the crash will be a wave of Zealots, a tsunami of Zealots potentially hitting BotTato, and JimmyBot has been very aggressive in the past, so we'll see. Is it just waiting for that 200 supply? Regardless, the Blue Terran bot's getting up to a 5th base. It's building a 6th Stalker, guys. That is big news if I've ever seen it. As a Marine drop is going off, the Banshee is harassing a little bit. We'll see how JimmyBot uses Blink to try and handle this Banshee harassment. The Banshee's up to 30 kills now as the Observer shows up, so it doesn't die, almost dies, as there's this drop moving around too, but JimmyBot is getting close to max out. BotTato is getting close to max out. We could have a fight in the middle of the map, and BotTato is looking a little antsy here. Maybe getting ready to move out and get aggressive. I think that Medivac was cleaned up, so JimmyBot may finally not be getting harassed, but look at this, it's heading towards 3-3 upgrades. BotTato's just got 1-1 on the way. Unless BotTato makes like 90 Widow Mines, I'm a little concerned, just because like Zealots aren't good against late game Terran, but I think in bot games they're pretty decent, and then just with these upgrades it's bad news. Now JimmyBot is taking this game a different direction, as it is building a Tempest. Just Zealots and Tempest pretty much, but here we go. The attack is starting to move out. There is a whopping 41 zealots are heading towards this planetary fortress. Yes, I'll say that again. 41 zealots charging towards this planetary. The Terran's army is not in position to deal with this, so here we go as the zealots charge on in, wrapping around that planetary. SCVs are trying to repair, but it will be deleted. And so now the Terran army is coming forward to try and greet this Protoss force. Let's see how this plays out as the zealots are swarming. There's Widow Mines, there's tanks, Vikings landing, anti-armor missile. This is ridiculous, but the Protoss is so far ahead on upgrades. Stalkers are blinking. The Terran army is melting in the face of this massive Protoss force. And yeah, BotTato has a very rough time. The fact that the planetary is dead, there's no anchor point, although aside from the bunker, but bunkers are a big deal in Starcraft 2 bot games, so we'll see if it can hold on, but there's no repair going down on it anymore. And I think the Jimmy tsunami of zealots that are each named Jimmy were able to just kill BotTato just like that. Despite the crazy economic damage, BotTato, I think, was just a little slow on its build-out compared to JimmyBot, which was very greedy. And then, yeah, positioning-wise, BotTato was a little caught out. Like, if the upgrades are even, I think that fight may be close enough that BotTato can hang on, but 3-3 against, I think there wasn't even +1 armor on the Marines. The Marines, they didn't have combat shield, they didn't have stim. And yeah, I think BotTato might have built too many starports at the start of this game. Like, it had 3 armories. That's ambitious if I've ever seen it. Yeah, so maybe the priorities aren't perfect for this situation, so well done by JimmyBot. I do enjoy the build. It's like BenBot's. It's late, guys. I need to shower and go to bed right after this. Yeah, but it's like BenBot's bunker containment. You just delay the expansion potentially and deal economic damage, maybe force an overreaction from your opponent. I like it. Now here's the next wave of the Jimmies coming in to seal the deal, and yeah, that will be it for this game. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in. This was a very enjoyable game between these two. Lots of great harassment and just economic games at play, which is a big part of StarCraft, so click that like button if we can get a like for every zealot. That would be pretty cool. Comment down below. More bots, more zealots. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you do want to support the channel, consider becoming a YouTube member. You guys are wonderful for all the support you give the channel. And yeah, that is it. GG.